This shows my Kindle Fire where we left off reading last time in my nonfiction book, Molasses Moon. Most of this has been read already. So I'll turn the page and start there. If the shoe does fit, however, quit giving out all those damn pills and making all those damn laws. Let us breathe. Little carbon monoxide never hurt anyone, not even the yawning ozone hole. And too much CO is useful if you're ready to make your final exit and no one wants to help you celebrate the journey with a nice going away cocktail. It's definitely pee time. I've already had my iced tea. It's god awful hot up here at 1:30 on April 20th. The wasps aren't bothering me though. I stuffed Kleenex soaked in insecticide in the holes around my window. Maybe I'll have a piece of cake. Don't you wish publishing would be one of those? Especially if you deserved to have a piece of cake and eat it like I do. Chapter 26. Goads galore. You know what I do to avoid facing goads. I change the subject or take a break or sidetrack. Before I started this chapter, in which I promised myself to wrap up loose ends in molasses, I put the work together, including the last chapter, placed it in a box, put it aside to incubate, and began writing a whole new moon book, another silly investigation. I would have titled it, I'm Back. But the title wouldn't make any sense if the new book, Sliding Down Moonbeams, were to get published before Molasses. After writing the first chapter of the new book, I came back here to merge a few letters I was compelled to write. April 26, 1994. The Jeff Herman Agency. Dear Jeff, since your last note addressed to my first name, I guess it's okay to use yours? Every time a holiday passes now, I think of you. All of your correspondence has arrived or been sent on or near a holiday or special occasion. Your astral makeup does indicate a talent for timing, both from the right and left brain perspectives, intuitive and methodical. I can't help but continue to wish I had an agent with such precise timing. Hopefully I'll find the right one day. I've basically completed Molasses Moon, except for a few loose ends. Not having used the charge built up for that work, I've begun another nonfiction. Silly satire. Sliding Down Moonbeams. I won't offer it to you for review because it's a safe assumption my style, humor, and trains of thought don't fit your sane, down-to-earth approach. There are probably a mass of readers who would enjoy my silliness, but no one in the publishing business has warmed to it yet. How does a nutty writer get through the professionals to the real target, the mass market? I know, I keep using your guide to find the right agent or editor for my particular, peculiar style. May Day and Cinco de Mayo are coming soon. I'm expecting to receive a note from you responding to my preface to Molasses. Since I'm supposed to be somewhat psychic at times, I predict you'll say you couldn't get into it. Not to worry, I can handle it, as well as no response. I'm never down too long. Too much to do. I'm having fun now, sliding down moonbeams. That's how I get back from one of my trips out to the ozone investigating the hole up there, as well as the causes and cures of bad breath and bad ideas. I'm thinking the ozone hole is Mother Nature's prescribed healthy way of breathing out the toxins from the last several volcanic eruptions. Happy holidays. Next letter, April 26, 1994. Miss Leslie Meredith, Executive Editor, Bantam Books, New York, New York, 10036. Dear Miss Meredith, I keep wrestling with myself about approaching publishers with more obscure imprints than the Bantam Rooster. I might have a chance with a smaller, more recently established house. I know I can't start out with Bantam as an unknown writer with unusual works, even if they are mass market targeted. I can't have the rooster on the spine of my books yet. I can't. I can't make myself believe it. Oh, yes, I can. Surely, somehow, but I don't know how. I've sent you a couple single-page queries, 3.3 and 4.14, offering a review of Molasses Moon, a nonfiction light satire about how to survive as a writer without Bantam. I also sent a half-page query offering a satire sextet, Crossing Fiction with Non, 211. Having been engaged full-time writing book-length manuscripts for nearly a decade, I'm seasoned enough to expect no response to queries such as the 3 previous and this one. I understand why a person is ignored in my position. I give all indications of being part of my own private screwball syndrome. It's hard to emphasize the tongue in my cheek without choking. Be that as it may, having more or less completed Molasses Moon, I've begun another light satire. Nonfiction manuscript, Sliding Down Moonbeams. It plays with the causes and cures of bad breath and bad ideas, while investigating an idea of ozone holes being a normal breathing occurrence. The investigation takes place out in the ozone. To get back home, one must learn to slide down moonbeams. Again, no response is necessary unless you're sparked to request more information. As an ozone traveler, and I sign my name. April 26, 1994. Mr. John Nuff, Publisher, Parag Books. The Putnam Publishing Group, New York, New York, 10016. Dear Mr. Nuff, according to Jeff Herman's Insider's Guide to Book Editors, Publishers, and Literary Agents, you work with a wide range of commercial nonfiction, including humor and how-to. On March 4th, I wrote to you offering a review of Molasses Moon, a lightly satiric how-to recharge in a vacuum while waiting for a Godot publishing house contract. Molasses recommends that while waiting, instead of twiddling your thumbs, you make up a few new terms for quantum physics. I mentioned in my 3-4 query that the work was in progress but would likely be finished before I heard from you. Not that you would be slow in responding, but that Molasses was moving fast. It's now complete, except for a few sticky spots. And I've begun another satiric investigation into nonsense, Sliding Down Moonbeams, also nonfiction. Though so far-fetched, I've had to devise a method to return from the ozone. I slide down moonbeams. While in the ozone, I investigate the hole I made by sneezing. Mother Nature didn't mind my breach in manners. She was getting ready to breathe again anyway. The toxins from the last few volcanic eruptions had reached maximum saturation. I do have background in philosophy and chemistry to bring up my silly wanderings and wonderings in the above two-mentioned works. To bring to my silly wanderings and wonderings. Feel free to request to review the complete Molasses manuscript or the first chapter of Sliding. I expect no response unless you have interest in my work. Waiting for Godot. Okay, on April 27th, I debated whether to make one last try to get the attention of one of the editors or agents queried in this book. I decided to focus on my top priority choice, the rooster. I wrote yet another query to Miss Meredith, after I phoned Bantam to make sure she still worked there in the capacity of executive editor. She did. April 27, 1994. Dear Miss Meredith, I can't help it. I've sent a few short queries to queue a request to review Molasses Moon, knowing that my chances of getting a response to any query are -0. Now I'm committing a greater sin, sending an unsolicited segment of a manuscript. But I am sinning against myself. Am I sinning against myself or Bantam? Like most writers, I'm addicted to my own appeal. I'm compelled to share my work. It would be nice to make money at it, too. Since the enclosed is self-explanatory, I need not provide a synopsis. The preface to the Phenomenology of Mind. No, Hegel wrote that. The enclosed preface is to Molasses Moon. It summarizes the scope of the manuscript. The word Q above is a quantum physics term I coined, which is explained in Molasses. In the event that this work sparks interest, please feel free to request more. If not, no response is necessary. Toss the segment into the 13th file, 5th book, for no future reference. Here's to the rooster. On May 2nd, I got a response from Jonathan Glassy of Farrar, Strauss, and Giroux. And I'll read it, the quote of it. Thank you for your letter about Molasses Moon, which sounds provocative, but strikes me as not right for us. Best of luck in placing with another publisher. Sincerely. Provocative. That was a nice compliment, I guess. Maybe later I'll think of a response to not right for us. Their nose is likely too straight to appreciate the ridiculous. They're probably too classy for silly. Oh well. And time goes by with me going from day to day, doing whatever there is to do. On May 12th, I decided, what the hell, I might as well. I can't stand sitting in the light anyway. Might as well keep stumbling in the dark. May 12th, 1994. Dear Miss Meredith, enclosed is the first chapter of a self-explanatory manuscript, Sliding Down Moonbeams. This work is planned but not written beyond what you have here. If you find the work at all interesting, I do have a similar manuscript, Molasses Moon, which is complete, if you'd like to see more of my silly and light type of work. The style is simplified to aim at a wide audience of mass market. My background is adequate to the task implied by the enclosed. If you have interest in my work, feel free to contact me for samples or information. If the enclosed doesn't spark enthusiasm, feel free to discard it. No response is necessary unless you wish more info. Sincerely, Linda G. Shelnutt. Enclosure, Chapter 1, Sliding Down Moonbeams. May 12, 1994. Diane Reverend, Editor-in-Chief, Billard Books, New York, New York, 10022. Dear Miss Reverend, enclosed are the first 50 pages, as per your guidelines, of a self-explanatory manuscript titled Molasses Moon. My background is adequate to the task implied in the manuscript. If you would like to see more of my work, any of it, please notify me. If the enclosed doesn't spark enthusiasm, however, feel free to discard the material and make no response. Sincerely. I didn't feel this time like I'd receive a dear author, not for us form. So we'll see. I'm stalled in chapter 2 of sliding, but I have lots of ideas for it, and I'll probably get cooking again soon. I guess if I get any more responses to queries or from family or friends, or even strangers who read Molasses, I'll put them in an epilogue. So I'll conclude my fizz conspiracy theme here, then continue chronicling my publishing effort game in future Moon books, since that story may never end. Asterisk. The fizz conspiracy culprit is a vicious circle. Insecurity is the cause of the need to control through a labyrinth of laws and to seek safety in numbers, through socialism, religion, or the joiner syndrome. Yet losing the individual in the group and draining him with laws, licenses, fines, and taxes dampens the spark, which puts the fizz and fire in life. Insecurity is the result, partially, of hard times in a physical reality, with the ICSS set too slow. This makes it hard for anyone to accomplish any goal. This may be why goals can become goads so easily too. Then, of course, we have a morality which says it's wrong for an individual to want anything for himself. Worse yet, to have or own much. Ambition, greed, and selfishness are bad words. When you can't have, you feel powerless, i.e., insecure. When you feel powerless, you feel unable to support or protect yourself, then get even more insecure. The vicious circle. And even if you did reject the morality that makes it wrong to be an individual, wrong to be ambitious, wrong to have what you work for, even if you reject these bad ideas and reach a few personal goals, you're still in a physical world in which your very survival is hard and complicated. Even if you master your personal money game, there's health, natural, political, and economic disasters to deal with. Bottom line, there is no total safety or security on Earth right now, even in numbers. It's only your belief in yourself and something higher that keeps you all at all comfortable. So, in a world in which it's hard to bridge the gap between wanting and having, do whatever little things you can do each day for yourself, your safety, and your progress toward goals and happiness. And when someone tries to shroud you with bad ideas, like the one that says flavor isn't healthy to your body or to the planet, say to yourself, piss on it. On the bad idea, not on the flavor. Chapter the last. Going home. A future I plan to avoid. I think I'll pause here and leave that for the next time. Chapter the last. Are you ready for it? I should mention again that there are photographs in this book. So that's one reason to own the physical copy as well as watching these videos. And I suppose, let's see, what shall I say this time to end? I think the last one I showed that I uploaded, I thought I had turned it off, but I hadn't, and I was sitting there just looking at the camera. Oh, it made me laugh out loud when I saw that one after I uploaded it. the first time because I had forgotten that I had done that, but it made for some good spice, I think. Made me look a little foolish, but what the heck, it was fun. So, well, we'll see you next time.